Okay, so guys, welcome to our Thursday night leadership call. I had the privilege of as I said before, I had the privilege of sponsoring an event called the $1 Billion Body Live 2.0. Some amazing speakers, Navy SEALs. We had Tony Robbins as coach. Yeah, I know. Jay Abraham, and the guy was phenomenal. He talked for an hour. The guy makes about a little over $1 billion a year. I had so much stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. So I was just praying earlier. I was like, oh my God, I got all this brain. I just wish that I could take it right now. It's funny because I always look at Mike because he's always looking at me like, I feel like I just want to transfer my brain over to him. Like, Mike, here you go. Like, just take it, right? Like, so, and, you know, I really miss the opportunity of share. I wish there was 100 people on here. I know that that you guys that take the time out of your schedule to come and be on these calls. I believe that not only will they help you in your business, but they're going to help you in life. Like Lisa had the privilege of being with me for the first couple days of this event. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Jenny. Thank you guys for joining. They had the privilege of joining me. She had the privilege of being at the event and I'll have her maybe share a little bit about that at the end about your experience and stuff. But one of the speakers is a guy. Hey, Robert Duran, good to see you too, man. Congratulations on all the stuff that you're doing, brother. And guys, as you guys come on, just mute yourself. That'll be great. Thanks. But a lot of things that I learned at this event, I'm going to have to mute everybody. I hope you guys will just mute for me. So, all right. So what I learned at this event, as I said, it was just overload. I got to hear from an Navy SEAL. I got to hear from Jay Abraham. But the guy I'm going to talk about tonight, and because LifeVantage is really just going into momentum, I'm going to talk about momentum tonight. And I had this pulled up, but my phone was kind of dying. So I wanted to talk to you guys just a little bit about a guy named Alex Charfen. Okay. Alex Charfen is now kind of like the next Jay Abraham. Like Alex Charfen has taken, and I'm just going to give you guys some stuff that he's doing. He's created multiple 8-figure earners already this year in 2017 or 2018. So if you think about Alex Charfen, get on his podcast, his Momentum podcast. Look him up online. I didn't have time to make any things, but you guys can see this is him. This is Alex Charfen right here. Alex takes entrepreneurs and scales their business. He's worked with Oprah and many different people. He's just a really cool guy. And he has taken, like, for instance, a lot of us are using ClickFunnels now. He's spell his last name. Okay, that's good, Mike. Here. All right, you guys ready? Here you go. Alex Charfen. Charfen. And so I got Dr. John Huey was with me. We sat in the front row because we wanted to learn. I took Fred Bulk with me, who was another one of my coaching clients. I had the privilege of just connecting with so many people that it was one of the best events I've been to. I've been to many. Thrive has been just as good. But guys, a lot of the guys that are in Thrive were there because it was a men's event. So, but Alex, every time I hear Alex speak, I'm just completely like, he just helped Alex and Layla Hormozi, who own a business called Gym Launch, where they go in and help gyms scale their businesses, right? They keep them motivated. They give them systems. They teach them follow-up processes. Guys, it's no different than what we're doing. A lot of people just don't get through to the finish line. Like right now, as I look at all this momentum that LifeVantage is building, here's the problem that happens is we get as network marketers. I was with my friend Calvin Wayman, and he said the reason why I like network marketing is because, guys, some of you guys haven't muted. If you guys, George, I know you just came on, mute yourself if you can. I'm going to mute everybody just to be safe. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, muting all. If you guys need to unmute later, you can. But so what my friend Calvin said is, he said what he likes about network marketing is that not everybody succeeds. And the reason they don't succeed is because they don't follow the pattern of what they're meant to do, what the process is, the follow-up, the being engaged, the talking to people. Like, I had a 23-year-old work with me on videos this week, and he's going to be joining LifeVantage here in the next couple of weeks. And the kid's a genius. Like, he's a genius. He's like, Mike, everybody wants to talk to you. He said, you always are engaging people. People are excited to talk to you. I said, Matt, it's because they deserve to hear what we have to say. And this happened at the conference. Like, guys, I had the privilege of speaking at the mastermind, the actual mastermind of a group of elite guys. And I talked about testosterone. And, I talked about biohacking and nutrigenomics. And now 3/4 of the group are signing up on the products. And 2 or 3 of them have talked to me about the business. Are going to sign up in the next couple of weeks. So if you guys aren't in the best investment all of you can make in yourself, is in yourself, by growing and being around influencers, being at events. Look, if you're not in Anaheim, then being at global convention is not an option for you. You're not serious enough about what you're doing. Yes, some of us, because of work and family issues, we have to make a decision on what we do. I haven't missed an event, but and look, we've went all in. We're balancing out our money because we have all these new clients coming in. So we're using that to invest in ourselves. But we realize that it's all about relationships. It's about building a brand. It's about building relationships with people so that you can get them to that next point where you can start talking to them. And so I want to dive into this because momentum is coming with LifeVantage, and I don't want any of you guys to miss it. I don't want you sitting on the fence. There's people that started off really fast, became Pro 4, Pro 5, Pro 6, and they're gone. And after I realized and I listened to Alex's talk, Dr. Huey looked at me and he said, because we were in a room full of very successful entrepreneurs, and he went through this, what an entrepreneur looks like. And Dr. John Huey was one of the most successful people in the room, like financially wise. And John looked at me and said, Mike, I have to do this. He goes, I've said this all along, but here I am dragging my feet, and I'm going to miss momentum. I'm going to say, crap, what should I have done different? Okay, so I'm going to jump right into this. I'm going to pull up some slides for you guys. I am recording this, as you know, but I want you guys to see some of these slides that Alex Charfen put together, because he was telling the story about Alex Hormozi, as I was saying earlier, and his wife Layla. They started this gym launch business, and Alex began to scale them. And my good friend Nicholas Barely and his wife Amanda are working with Alex now too, and that's why Alex came and spoke for free at the conference. And the guy's made over $300 million, I think, in the last 4.5 years. So he's successfully helping entrepreneurs learn. And what you can do is, guys, the reason we go to these things is so we can teach you guys these things. It's real simple. Like, I'm unloading some stuff from you guys. So it says we are momentum-based beings. I love this. I don't know why all these pop-ups are coming up, honey, but there's a ton of pop-ups coming up. Do you know why? I'm sorry, guys. Huh?
Facebook.
No. Can we get out of it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I closed it out. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I just
closed out all my other tabs.
Not the evil. Let me hold on one second, guys. I'm just closing out some tabs so that there's not all these pop-ups. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, so understand our physiological attachment to momentum and our sensitivity to constraint. So it's going to show you the both, and there's three ways and 3 things that go through momentum. So I want you guys to be able to visually see this. So I'm going to read it with you guys so you can visually see it. and then I'll talk a little bit as we go. It says the entrepreneurial personality types, okay? And I'm gonna go over more about that too. It's just so much to unload on you guys. I wanted to pick and choose where we were and as a company and where you guys are as entrepreneurs, because you're an entrepreneur. If you're in LifeVantage, if you have your own business, you are an entrepreneur. You have to build relationships. You have to build a brand. People don't buy into just LifeVantage products, even though there's no competition. People buy into the person, right? And I can just tell you, I made a lot of mistakes in this business, but I'm correcting them all. I've got guys signing up with me now that have told me no for years and years and years because I changed, because I became a different person, because I have built relationships, because I have taken advice from people and said, I'm not doing it the right way. I'm doing things the wrong way. I'm ruining relationships. And I changed. And this, Alex's talk really got to me. He said, the EPTs, we'll call them, are momentum-based beings, meaning that they have a mental, physical, and biological response to momentum, to things happening good, whether it's in your marriage or whether it's in your business, okay? But this is talking about business, obviously. And he said EPTs are also negative responses to constraint or anything hindering their ability to move forward. This affects their emotional states and their understanding of where they fit into the world. Guys, the number one thing that I've learned about LifeVantage is that we are going to get rejected, right? On a regular basis. We're going to have people build this bit. I'll just tell you, I told this to Wendy today when I was texting on the airplane. Lisa and I feel like we're starting over. We're building a whole new team of leaders. We've got leaders here with you guys, but we want to build another team of leaders that as you guys go forward, you can come along and raise up these leaders. And that's what you guys should be doing. As this gets into momentum in the next 12 to 16 months, maybe sooner with the way things are looking, you guys don't want to miss this. You want to be following up with people, going back. And guys, remember, it takes 12 touches for somebody to be able to get this. Like I can tell you right now, there's many people on this call right here that I've done 3-way phone calls for you, and you've not followed up with those people 12 times. So that's one thing I want to talk about. So it says, when I talk, this is Alex speaking, it says, when I talk to entrepreneurs about their concept, and before I go on, guys, I want to say one thing. You can download this book. This is the Entrepreneurial Personality Type. You can download it for free through Google and on Alex's website. I downloaded this for free. All he wants is your email so he can send you emails. But that's okay, and you can opt out of those. But I wouldn't if I were you. He says, when I talk to entrepreneurs about their concept, most of them instantly agree and realize it clarifies their behaviors and reactions to the world around them. But some remain confused by terminology. This understandable because most of our lives we have thought of momentum purely from a perspective of high school physics, right? Or sports or whatever that may be. So what does it have to do with who we are and how we feel? Perhaps one of these situations sounds familiar to you. You wanted to move forward but couldn't. Progress was slow and exhausting. Every step forward was chased by another step backwards. You wanted to get unstuck but couldn't. Something was holding you back. You were overwhelmed and became your own biggest obstacle of moving forward. That was me. You wanted to achieve your goals faster but couldn't. You didn't know how or what you were missing, okay? The entire universe felt against you. Guys, I have learned so much. Like, I wept at this event because I learned and I saw this old vision of myself and relationships that I tarnished. And you know what? I can't look back at that. I can only look forward. And that's why I believe that as you learn that this is a cycle of life that you go through, the only person that's really holding us back is ourselves. Okay? It says the good news is that we've all been there. You're not alone. Okay? These situations and feelings are common, especially from entrepreneur types. And they are signposts of momentum-based beings, like the capability of being in momentum, right? Feelings of frustration, stagnation, and constraint are truly the search of momentum in your life. Understanding this will begin to clarify how you make decisions, how you react to challenges, and the reasons behind your behavior, good, bad, and neutral. and I wanted to throw one piece in here. I wrote this down, and I'm glad that I remembered this. Like my friend Brett Lloyd, who's in my mastermind, left today to go and serve as a Navy SEAL in Korea. And he showed some pictures of some things that I couldn't share with you guys, the videos and stuff, but just mindset stuff about how he's put in certain situations every single day where he has the capability of losing his life. Like he showed a picture of him hanging from a boat, climbing up a ladder, but hanging from the boat and the other of a vessel, and the other boat that took him up to it had floated away. And if he lets go or if he falls, he dies. Okay. So he's holding on for life. And one of the real things I thought about when I thought about how Brett did that is we had a plank test 3 days prior to that with 25 of the guys. I didn't have to do it. They picked a handful of guys out of a hat, and I wanted to do it, but we got picked up, and then we had to count for people, which was crazy. But skinny guys are really good at planks. Brent's a little short, stocky guy, right? And when he got down, he was kind of under the table, so he was kind of looking to see who was still up. And he said, Mike, I haven't worked out very much. I've been trying to get prepared mentally for this. I mean, I've been working out some, but he said, you know what, for me it is? It's all my mindset. I look at all of this chaos that's going on around me, and I just focus on the things and the chores that are ahead. And he won. Like, he's like, I can't believe I won. Like, he said, the reason I won, he said, Daniel's, probably physically, because Daniel was a dancer, he said, Daniel's probably physically capable of doing more than this with me, but my mindset was changed. So it says, even if it may even eliminate the forces behind your emotional states, right? In fact, many momentum-based individuals identify with the sensations of momentum and constraint more strongly than the traditional labeled emotions. And then he says happy, sad, exhausted, mischievous, angry, and surprised, right? Have you ever found yourself confused or alienated by a cartoon emotion chart? How many of you, when you look at these, you think about the state that you're in, right? And he said, for you, these are just words ultimately covered by 3 states of momentum. So now we're going to talk about the 3 states of momentum. Number 1 is the moving forward, fulfilled or elated state. Some refer to this state as Zen or euphoria, or for me, just being in God's will for me, right? Whatever that may feel for you. Or even feeling of being alive, emotionally on top of the mountain. In this state of momentum, we feel like we can accomplish anything, right? Reaching a new rank, standing on stage, hearing somebody talk about you doing great. Like, one of the things that was really cool for me this weekend, I'm just going to share this with you guys, is all of the people that contacted me after the event that wanted to get together with me and just coming up into me and say, I just want to, and guys in my elite group of 25 guys, now there's going to be 45 guys, just saying, hey man, I just wanted to tell you that, I watched the change in you from, and it all goes with, where you are at that time. How much do you want to learn from other people so that you can build quality, strong relationships? And just look, this is state, it says, let me see where I lost myself. Okay, state. Okay, yeah, okay. In this state of momentum, we feel like we can accomplish anything. Nothing is out of our reach. Challenges are easy to overcome, and the path to success has been paved before us. This is a state in which we light the world on fire because we have removed constraint from our lives, okay? And then the middle one was moving backward, right? When confronted with constraint or challenges, we can feel like we're moving backward, like our goals are moving farther and farther from us. I've been there just recently. Like, you're going all in, you see what's happening at the end of the tunnel, but it's not there yet. Like, so you feel like you're moving backwards and you feel like you're moving forward, right? So, but while setbacks happen in life, they're often when we show up, bounce back, and overcome adversity. For momentum-based beings, this state can turn into a constructive period of realization and positive behavioral change. Okay? So you're challenged, but everybody is, maybe they're stopping using the product. Maybe they don't understand the product. You know, it's really funny that now people that I've been sharing with for 3 and 4 and 5 years, and even some 1 or 2 years, are starting to say, dude, I understand it now. Like, you're never sick, and I'm always sick. And you know, I see other people that are taking the products that aren't sick, and you know, they're healthy, and they're pushing through, and they're doing all the stuff. It's just a matter of time, guys. I've showed you guys that time and time again. Like one of the stories that I read when I was reading about how when Steve Jobs was winding down his life, right? Like the momentum, when momentum hit after he was gone, or right around the time before he passed away, he was grateful for the downtimes because it allowed him to see that this flipping thing was going to change history, right? The Mac that I'm on, Lisa's computer, was going to change history. But when you looked at the first Mac computer, like, that thing looks stupid, right? Like, it's a big yellow box that you have to carry around. Nobody thought it was going to be successful. They were almost bankrupt several times. You guys heard of all that story. So, and then there's constraint, okay? So it says, this is the most challenging state of all, right? Why is that? Because there's often no understanding of how to break free. You feel bound. Being in constraint or standing still, it could, guys, I love what Alex talked about this, because he talked about his personal life too, and he related it to his entrepreneurial journey because he'd been there, and Jay Abraham, the same thing, how he uses these types of periods of the times, and how he coached Tony Robbins to become a multi-billionaire, right? And how he said, I remember this. It was really funny. I remember I shared this with Lisa when we were at Funnel Hacking Live in Orlando. I remember Tony Robbins saying, look, because Alex had spoken before, he said, man, did y'all hear Alex speak? Like, he goes, I've been in every one of those areas. He said, look, I give millions and millions and millions of dollars away, and people still don't like me, right? Like, he goes, I go and I go underground and I watch and help with human trafficking, and I give millions and millions of dollars back, and I rescue kids from human trafficking all over the world, and people still don't like me. He said, I've been in spots where I was like, is this all worth it? And then he said, then he had a realization of why it was all worth it. It says here, it says, being in constraint or standing still, hitting a plateau or being stuck makes us crazy. It drives us to drastically change our lives, making challenging decisions, and even harm on our businesses or ourselves. We express this state cognitively by making poor decisions and feels physically through stress and emerging body pains. Look, I'm not going to use names or anything, but I'm just going to use examples. I know people that have reached Pro 3 and Pro 4 and have said, I'm in this for life, and then whoop, and they make another directional change. Still using the product, still telling people about it, but maybe they had this, they had pushback and constraint. Look, it really doesn't matter what people think about network marketing. I say this all the time. What if the cure for cancer was in network marketing? You know, there's good and bad in everything, right? And then I like this. It says, is it critical to understand that whether the momentum or lack of is real or perceived, the sensations and reactions in this state will be the same? Is it a fundamental outlook that causes entrepreneurs to have challenges in environments or constraint, like a rigid classroom structures, social relationships, or traditional business settings? It has also resulted in symptomatic suppression of entrepreneur types, right? Through negative reinforcement, behavioral changes, even medications, as their attributes and behaviors are often mistaken as disorders. This happens all the time, guys. It's sad truth, but today more than 50% of U.S. adults will be diagnosed with a clinical mental illness. Well-marketed conditions like anxiety, ADD, depression, bipolar, becoming so common that diagnoses are growing at double-digit rates year after year. This is sad, guys. It's because of a mindset. Like you see it happen all the time. It says, for this reason, as momentum-based beings, it is imperative to find ways of not just generating but sustaining momentum in your lives. The entrepreneur has been misunderstood for far too long. Guys, entrepreneurship is not for everything. Before I go on reading, it's not. It's those, I believe it's just like Dr. Maxwell talks about in that book. It's for that 20%. It's for that 20% that can push through and overcome fear. And it's really funny. One of my friends, Brandon Elliott, has a real estate podcast, and I just really connected with him. We got on the phone call. He was at the event I was at, and him and his girlfriend were going bungee jumping today. And he's like, bro, I hate heights. Like, just sucks. But you know what he said? This is what he said. I'm going to read it to you guys because I pulled it up, and I know we might go over a little bit today, guys. So there's just a lot of stuff that I wanted you guys to hear. So here's what Brandon said. He said, I need to get over my fear of heights. And I said, I hate heights too, bro. Like, somebody said something here. Let me just see. Sorry, guys. So you're welcome, Paulette. And he said, me too, but I really don't like the thought of me possibly living in fear the rest of my life. Are you kidding me? Like, how powerful is that? Me too, but I really don't like the thought of me possibly living in fear either. It says the EPT is misunderstood far too long. Rootless in a world that provides misdirection and bad advice, okay, at every turn. In your journey to find and build momentum, you will need to understand yourself and the core group of attributes driving your behaviors. Guys, I'm going to reread this. Please listen to this. Like Paulette just said, she really needed to hear this. We all need to hear this. I needed to hear this. John Huey needed to hear this. We were right in front of Alex hearing him teach this. The EPT has been misunderstood for far too long. Rudderless in a world that provides misdirection and bad advice at almost every turn. In your journey to find and build momentum, you will need to understand yourself and the core group of attributes driving your behaviors. I learned a lot about that. Focus on the attributes, on these attributes, and they will expand into great strengths and abilities, helping you generate momentum to make your great contribution to this world. And then this is how he finished it, okay? He said, as momentum beings, it is imperative for us early, entrepreneurs to find ways of not generating but sustaining momentum in their lives. Before Lisa comes, I want to know if anybody has a comment or a question about that. Guys, the one thing I really liked about this event is people were interactive. Like, they were asking questions and making comments. Does anybody want to, guys, the way that I saw people this weekend is they were vulnerable. Most of you are not capable of being vulnerable and saying, look, like one of the things I said at the mastermind is, look, guys, I'm just going to be vulnerable in front of all of you. I screwed up. I've wanted things for people more than they've wanted it for themselves. I've ruined relationships. I've ruined business partners. I've done all of this, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to do everything I can to restore relationships and encourage people and live in momentum and see things happening and not looking at, not having any money in the bank and spending all our money and just the things that I've done, the bad choices and decisions that I'm doing, living paycheck to I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to focus on momentum and focus on building a future for my wife and my family and everybody around me. Anybody want to make a comment or say something?
Hey, Mike. So it sounds like that momentum is purpose in your life that kind of sets you free to just do your thing and not worry about everybody else.
That's it. Mike, it's funny that you say that because when Tony Robbins was here in Orlando, the first thing he said about he says, hey, look, what we need to do is stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about us and focus on what's important and what's ahead of us. And what's really cool about that, Mike, is that when I watched Alex come from and talk about where he came from and all these people that had success but were never really in momentum because they were inflicted by a lot of outside sources. He said that's what he taught him. He taught him to stay in. And you know what the number one thing he said was? He said, what you need to do in your life, he said, if you forget everything I've talked about, is you need to eliminate the noise in your life. Eliminate the noise in your life. Eliminate people that are speaking negatively. He said, surround yourself around positive people. Absolutely, Mike. Thanks for saying that, and thanks for commenting on that. I appreciate that. Anybody else want to make a comment or just say something that might help somebody else maybe be exposed yourself? Just say something that maybe is on your heart. Anybody else? And I'm going to let Lisa come.
I'm just trying to actually get my head around that. That's a lot of information that you just threw at us.
Yeah.
And thank you ever so much for doing that.
No, I'm gonna give you guys. If you guys want, you can download the book yourself, The Entrepreneurial Types, because we're all entrepreneurs and we need to understand who we are and that we are a special breed. That's what Alex said. He's like, not everybody like this. And Mike, you and I've talked about this before. Like, most people just think that they were made to go to work or go to college, get a job, work that job and then live off of we know this. Mostly 10% of people are able to live off of what they made and be able to thrive and do that type of stuff. I mean, you know this in your family, Mike, but people have quit jobs and retired and now are starting other businesses and beginning to do things because what that part of a job that they thought they were supposed to do. How many of you hear people every single day on Facebook and Instagram complaining about their job and people that are thriving are not complaining about that. They're not like one thing Lisa said to me, funny thing. She says, I see why people do things like Uber and that's because basically they really don't have a lot of stress. They pick a person up, they drop them off and away they go, right? They're their own boss. If they don't want to click on, they don't have to click on, right? But the problem with that is they're not building any momentum. There's no momentum in that, right? So, yeah, anybody else? Anybody else want to make a comment?
Yeah.
Mike, I muted you by accident. Go ahead and unmute. Sorry, I got you. There you go.
Building your team kind of creates your own momentum, and that really feels good.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Anybody else?
This is Tracy. I just wanted to say, Mike, I have felt this way my whole entire life. I always knew there was other things. I've tried other things, but they just didn't fit. But when Stacy found me and I found this product, it is literally physically changed my life. And all I want to do is help others be able to be healthy and wealthy and well.
Prime example. It's a good feeling. Number one, it's a good feeling to be healthy, but it's an even better feeling to be able to pay that forward to other people. That's a momentum.
Yes, way better.
Healthy.
But by reading what he wrote in there about getting stuck, oh my God, so true, so true. Anyway, thank you.
Totally. Anybody else? Jenny, I see you unmuted. You want to comment?
I'm muted, I think, Mike. I'm being very quiet. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You want to make a comment?
I will make a comment. I would say that I agree with you. Are you talking to Jenny or Mike?
I'm talking to you.
Okay. All right. No, I agree with your comment. It's being open to continually changing and to continually looking at where your weak points are and how to push the edge and overcome those weak points so that you can benefit others.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And, you know, it's, there was just so much stuff to decipher and to take in this weekend. Like it was really funny. Like we had a call. I'm saying this publicly. She doesn't even know I heard this, so I'm just saying this. She had the privilege of I had the privilege of being with Amanda and Nicholas Bailey, who Lisa had the privilege of serving this weekend as a guest host and stuff. And they were just like, Amanda was just like, she called me yesterday and she said, I just wanted to tell you, Lisa is freaking amazing. Like, she's a go-getter. She has the potential to just be an amazing, you guys together can just change the world. She's like, I watched how she kept people from trying to get in for free at things and not registering and going into the wrong doors. And, and guys literally came home, signed up a bunch of people that we had talked to at the conference. We've got a list of follow-up people that we're going to follow up with tomorrow in the next couple of days. Guys, okay, so I'm just going to say this. I want to share something with you guys, which is really cool, about how you can build relationships. And then I'm going to turn it over to Lisa, which is kind of funny. I have like massive appointments tomorrow, one right after the other, but one of them is with Ryan Goodwin, and he made that appointment himself, which is awesome, because he said, hey, Mike, I just been watching what you've been doing. And I want to spend some time talking to you. Like, I want you to teach me some things you've learned. And I want to start going to some conferences you guys are going to and learning and teaching. And I'm like, Ryan, let's do it. He wants me to teach him how to teach his wife some things that we're learning. And it's why we've done it. We've invested another bit of thing that we're doing. And guys, just like all of you, we're at 12 noon too. We don't want to miss momentum. We don't want to miss what's going on. So before I turn over to Lisa, maybe one more person, anybody else want to make a comment or just talk about something, maybe where they are or something? Anybody? Chris, anybody? 3, 2, 1.
I just wanted to reiterate on the investing back in yourself. One of the things that I did was I take a lot of my LifeVantage earnings and I put them into some sort of systems or webinars or something to help me teach, to move into different avenues to recruit and attract people to me. And every time, I started doing those ads, as you know, and every time I would get some money, it either goes back into the EAs or the LVAs or building systems and funnels and ads just to keep me growing, to continue to get things. So and then learning also, getting into a lot of the industry leaders who have made it successful, learning what they did, not just LifeVantage members, but other members from other avenues and businesses. So the investing back.
Cool. You guys, it's important. It's important. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you one little quick thing before I turn it over to Lisa, is that one of my friends teaches some YouTube stuff that I'm going to start teaching you guys on some videos so you have access to them. They spent $51 on an ad spend, and it got them, what was the numbers? I'm doing the numbers in my head. It got them 40 customers. 40. How many of you would like to have 40 new customers?
Pick me.
Okay, so, and all they did was do $1 a day ad spend. That $51 made them $2,300. How many of you would like to spend $51 and make $2,800 is what they made? Anybody? Me. I'm ready.
Me.
Yeah.
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So I'm going to let Lisa's going to share some things with you guys. I know there's some specials coming up and some of that stuff. So I'm going to let Lisa just share a couple things with you and then we'll close up. I want you guys to just hear from her a little bit.
All righty. So, Saturday, the 16th, this Saturday, we've got our Team True Blue virtual training from 1 until 3 o'clock on Zoom. And this month is double rank advancement points. So that's an exciting thing. for the trip.
Okay, explain.
Oh, well, okay. So the Puerto Vallarta trip, this is the last month for it. And this month they've got the double points for rank advancements. So instead of, when you rank advance to Pro 2, instead of only getting 20 points for that advancement, you get 40 points. If you rank advance to Pro 3, instead of 40 points, you get 80 points, up on and on, up the chain, so to speak. And as you know, you need a minimum of 1,000 points to qualify. June promotion from LifeVantage, also add a Vitality Stack to monthly subscriptions and get free True Science Cream.
Yeah.
That's for, us as well as any of our customers, promote the free products, etc. And then the last promo is for Father's Day special. Buy the skincare line, the entire skincare regimen, all 4 products with Curb Physique and a hand cream, and get free Raspberry Axio. Not to mention 155 PV for volume and 25 incentive points towards Mexico.
Wow.
Cost of $185.
That's a lot.
Woo-hoo.
That's a lot.
So it is a lot.
25
it's
points,
awesome.
that's the same as a rank advancement.
So those are things for, great Father's Day gifts, etc.
Can you go back over the webinar again today so that there's training?
Saturdays, virtual training, instead of having the LVAs, especially for our Tampa Bay market, the Team True Blue market, I should say, to be honest, it's a webinar on Saturday from 1 until 3 via Zoom.
So if you guys don't have that, is there a link to that?
Yep.
Do you have it?
Well, it's in the email that Kathy sent out right there.
Well, okay, if you want to write it down,
I'll post it on Freedom Fighters.
Okay, Lisa will post it on Freedom Fighters. There's a training from 1 to 3. And does let me see. Are you okay with that? You got it all?
I just gotta find it.
If you can read it off, I'll just write it down.
Okay, let me read it
Let me
off.
go back to where it was.
Lost it. I'll just have her post it because she's somehow, whatever she just did, just moved it somewhere. She copied it and it went away, and I don't know what.
No, it's right here.
No,
Zoom
not.
ID number 271-427-1163.
I'm gonna type it down here in the chat. So it's Zoom, and what's the number again?
271
271
42
42
7163.
7163. All right, there's the number, guys. If you want to write it down, that's from 1 to 3 Eastern time.
Yep.
On this Saturday. And guys, a lot of people are qualifying for that trip in 1 month and 2 months. They said they're having LifeVantage even through the 15th, which is tomorrow. They're having their best month they've had in 6 or 7 years. So start building relationships with people. Start going back to people that you've been sharing with and re-following up with them. Guys, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to keep doing these Tuesdays and Thursday webinars for a while until we were having 2 to 3 signups every week, and that's changed because nobody's inviting people to be on them. And follow up, these are great for follow up. I can just tell you that that's the best thing to do is to go back and follow up with people that you've shared. You obviously have to continue to share with new people, but you have to go back and share with people that you've shared with before. Let them know she posted it. Let them know where momentum is coming. I like that slide that Lisa did on Tuesday night about momentum from Everett Rogers. Guys, momentum's coming.
I love how it parallels Drucker.
Yeah, it parallels it, but it shows you kind of where the positivity of like what with normal businesses do. Yep. So anybody, before we go, anybody have a comment or anything maybe you didn't share earlier and maybe you want to share now? Don't be scared. If something like, I know some people put comments in private chatted me here. Is there anybody that wants to make a comment before we head off?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Who is it?
Yes.
Q?
Same Cubic.
Go ahead.
This is me.
Go ahead, brother.
I just wanted to reiterate just consistency. Consistency truly does compound, and people will literally, in the literal terms, buy you before they ever buy your product.
Yeah.
And you're doing the consistent person and steadfast on what you're doing, it has no work out for you. And also simplicity. That's a key factor too. You should be able to lay out the product with a bit specifically to a person's set desires, because they're not asking you what does the product do, or how they're asking it what can it do for them. And you should be able to explain this as if you're speaking to a third grader. That's what I got from Stephen Jobs and Warren Buffett. And
yeah, here's what it is. Let me expound on that real quick. Q. Here's what it is. Alex Charfen talked about this.
The KISS method.
It's called the KISS method. How many people know what this is? This is called the keep it simple, stupid, right? That's it. And as I've watched Q do some of the videos he's been doing, in his car, at his football games, relating people to who he is and becoming that person. If we can do this, it's changed us. We've got people coming to us now wanting to know. I know Lisa had conversations with the girls she was working with, and now they want to know more, and their husbands and boyfriends want to know more. So guys, just love on people. Keep it simple, stupid. Oh, Lisa says silly. But and just expose and follow up. You guys, people deserve to hear this information. People are going to find out about it. You guys have seen some of the momentum stuff that's happening. I'm getting ready to do a video series of teaching people about the products, just individually, that are going to go out to customers and teaching them how to upgrade to different products. And we're super excited about that. Learn some stuff and some verbiage, and I'll be sharing all those with all of you guys. So guys, thanks for joining. Anybody have one last comment before we go?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, remember you did a call with me in Orlando?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the room. That guy just reached out to me, and he's like, man, he's like, I'm tired of procrastinating. I see you still doing it, and you're looking good, man. It's like, he left me like probably like 40-second voice messages in Messenger. Like,
see that?
Like I'm ready, and I see what you're doing.
They watch you. They see if you're growing, if you're pushing through, if you're still persistent, or if you're going to quit and say, shit. And it just kind of goes and shows them that their false beliefs of network marketing are true in their mind.
And Q, let me ask you.
I've heard a lot of good things about you lately, Q. I'm proud of you. You've been really growing and transforming. So
yeah. And one of the things I think that was really cool that Q did was he made a video the other day that I had the privilege of watching, where he just talked about how he's performing as he's aging the same as he did 3 and 4 and 5 years ago at sports. Like, he's not slowing down. That's attraction marketing, guys. That's what we have to do. So, like I said, we're way past the time, but does anybody want to make one last comment or share anything? Anybody? Mike, I saw you leaning forward. Did you want to say something?
Thank you very much, both of you, Lisa and Mike. I appreciate the comments tonight, and I'm definitely getting on this website.
Yeah, and let me know if you guys. I would download that entrepreneur type book. It's free. You can download it. Let me see if I can. Let me see something before we go. Let me see if I can put it here in the copy. I'm going to put it here in the chat box. And if you guys, maybe somebody can pull it up and see if it downloads. It might not, but I'm going to at least put it here for you guys, and then you can click it on and try it and see what happens. Mike, can you click?
Tracy's unmuted, but I'm unmuted too, Mike. Tracy speaking here. When you type something into your chat box, I don't always have time enough to write it down before you close the window.
Okay.
And then it's gone, right? Or am I doing something wrong?
No, it's still there. You just have it on somebody else's thing. Just click that on. You got, Mike, were you able to click it on? What came up?
Yeah, it comes up, Alex Charfen, ebook exclusive entrepreneurial personality type.
That's it.
Hey, I wanted to say one more thing.
Go ahead. Q, you're breaking up really bad. Yeah, you're gone. We can't.
Hear me now?
Are you there? Yeah, you're gone, bro. You're coming in and out, like we can't hear you, and then we can hear you. So,
Mike, I have a question.
Wait a minute. Where are you at, Jenny?
Yeah. Are you going to be there for a minute? Can I call you after this? I need to talk to you about a prospect that is up your alley.
Sure. Yeah. Just give me a call. Just give me a call back after this.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm going to end the recording. Thank you guys for joining our Thursday night call. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. If you need anything, reach out. I'm excited. I'm back in town, and I'm not going anywhere till Anaheim. So let's have some fun.
Mike,
You guys are awesome. I love you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Just a quick question, Mike. Funneling, where do you find it, or where could you send me to actually start doing some investigation on funneling?
Okay. Why don't you reach out to me tomorrow afternoon sometime, and just send me a text, and I'll see what my schedule is. I don't have it here in front of me. I know it's busy, but I don't know what the afternoon is like. So I'll just send me a text tomorrow, maybe after around 2 or 3, Stacy, and Eastern time, and then I'll jump on and kind of show you where you can go.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Lisa, do you have that on your training?
Lisa does, yeah.
Some of it, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
That's where you can, and Tracy, maybe you can share some of that information with Stacy.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Lisa,
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And Lisa will add you in the group too, Stacy.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Guys, thanks for being on. Love you guys. Love you all.